damage, and meter. One of the biggest things that make people say this game is slow is low damage and low amounts of meter to work with. It is often thought that in order to get anywhere in this game, you need to use supers and ultras. So players will use easy beat or some combo that ends in a super. Then, they have no meter left. What are they gonna do now? They try to get by with table scraps to build up that meter again. This leaves huge lulls in momentum in a match. People also became weary that there are only 3 bars of meter to work with. They want to be able to do things like safety flash cancels, but feel like they have to choose between that and damage. In order to get the most out of your character, you have to move away from easy beat, or combos that always end in a super. If you only have 1 bar of meter, it's much better to use it earlier in the combo to recuperate as much meter as possible. It's also imperative that you learn as many setups and combos that use as little meter as possible. You'll need to consider experimenting with EX moves, stand rush, and moves that crumple. If you don't want to spend any meter, well, if you can do a small combo that gets you a hard knockdown and builds meter, then you should be okay. Generally, as long as you're doing as much damage as a throw, I'd say whatever you're doing is worth it. At that rate, you're doing at least 10%, so the opponent can only make about 10 mistakes before dying. And that's assuming you don't spend meter at all. One last thing regarding meter is that if you're using a flash cancel to transition to stand on, you should again consider using quick stand on. That way, you'll save half a bar of meter each time. If you keep all this in mind, you should have a steady output of damage and meter to finish your opponent at a steady rate, while having enough meter for emergencies. However, I think it might be a good idea for the next game to up the damage of single pokes and then adjust damage scaling accordingly. This would help players want to develop more of a neutral game. That's all I have to say about damage and meter. Next time, I'll talk about taunts, and then do a quick wrap-up.